So we are going to see about the application stack architecture that's been over here actually. So I hope you know, like the architecture is got changed. It has got a lot of changes that's been done in Dynamics 365. So there are layers available in layers available in 2012. Okay, so and there are much use of layers over here, and there were models. In 2012, they came up with a concept of models so that we'll do migrate using a model store and other stuff. So now they have a model over here, but they concentrate more on the packages. So they say like they have layer of packages. The most important packages are here. So those are all application stack. 1 minute. Application platform, application foundation, and application shoot. So these are the most important thing, how they categorized it. So maybe previously we had a layer codes and cust layer codes, var layer and user layer codes. So we differentiate like, what all the organization model, number sequence, global address book, source documents, whatever it is coming from. Even a cust table, sales table, we consider that as a standard tables that are coming into picture. But now they categorize them into a different stuff. They call application platform to be the base layer. We can just correlate with assist layer that is already present. But to means to say that layer concept is not there now. Application platform is the lowest package that is available. So in that package, it takes care about the runtime and data access. That's from the DB communications and other stuff. And workflow on services, the basic workflow on services, modules and related classes has been built in this application platform. And we have IAS now into picture. That IAS is connecting to the model elements that is present in the system. So all those been defined in the application platform. That's an UI. Then the SSRS reporting components are there in the application platform. So in previous version, for everything for us is a standard, but they split it up into models now. So next is the application foundation package, a model. So here we have a process specific things like maybe an organization model, a number sequence, global address books and source documents, and few more. So these kind of specific functionalities are available in application foundation model over here. And so these two, application foundation and platform, are non-touchable. Okay, so this means to say that Microsoft still owns it. And in the version, so there are different versions of Dynamics, like when Dynamics 365 came into picture. They started with 7.2, 7.1, 7.2, now 8.0 is into picture. So till the version of 7.1, we were able to edit the objects of, we are able to customize the object of application shoot actually. Before that, I'll tell you like what is an application shoot. This application shoot contains module specific features. For example, sales order, purchase order, and HR management, and fleet management, and something like that. So these kind of management or application specific features are available in this application shoot. Before this version 8.0, Microsoft allowed it to do a customizations on this model, which they called as overlayering. They can directly do by using delegates and other stuff. But right now they locked it. So we'll not be able to modify any objects that are present in application shoot. For example, cust table, we can't modify the cust table methods or something. So here they introduced some new concept called chain of commands. If you want to do any modification in codes and other stuff. Most preferable way of doing dealing with development in Dynamics 365 now is extension model. So I mean to say that
you said
yeah,
to modify
if the customer,
table. Chain of commands, right? So there's extensions and chain of commands, right? When you want to modify the behavior or the add customizations to a table.
Exactly.
Chain of commands or extensions. Okay.
Chain of commands. So chain of commands is like for the classes actually. So if there are any codes that is present in what do you say? That is present in standard, and there is no provision for editing or modifying the code now. So only preferable way is like to implement the chain of commands. That is a part of the curriculum. Like maybe a later point of time we'll be checking out. For right now, we can just understand. So chain of command is that's what doing in the picture, and extension. So extension is the one. There are two different concepts here: overlayering and extension. Overlaying is other ways called as customization as well. Customization in the sense modifying the existing object. As you know, like we in previous version of AX22, like we open the customer table and keep editing whatever it is, right? Because it stays a copy in a user layer. When you delete it, it goes. But yeah, but here that is not the case actually. When you open a custom table in your model, what happens is you can just create an extension for that if you want to have any new objects created, and you can't modify any existing thing. So you can't delete a field. You can't just modify any existing relation things that are available. So only thing you can do is like you can just create an extension for it. It will create a new object in your Visual Studio or Solution Explorer. Then you can just modify, create a new objects, sorry, new fields, new relations, new indexes, and modify few of the properties of existing thing. Maybe like we can just modify labels, help text. We can modify the EDTs and other stuff. So going further, like we'll be checking what are the things we can modify in the extended tables and how it allows to add a new fields and other stuff. So this application platform, foundation, and application shoot, these are just basic models, but there are few more other models available in the system. Those are all dimension models available, currency model available, ledger model available. So there are a lot more models available, but if you are building a new own application for your thing, you will have to first subscribe to these models. Actually, you will have to reference to these models. Only then you will be able to get the objects working from. Later point of time, you decide like you're going to do something with the ledger model, then you can just go ahead and reference it again. That's how it works. Okay, fine. Then that's all about application architecture. We'll move on to the server architecture. So this is how the server architecture looks now. So the major change that's been done in the server architecture is so previously we had database access layer that is pointing only to the database, SQL database. Now there are two types of stuff they are coming into picture. The data access layer, that is database, and aggregate data store. Aggregate data store is an aggregate data entity that is being created over the database. Those are not any separate database that has been available. So these two provide data access to this particular Dynamics AX. And when you go above, you can just find out here UI interaction layer and OData endpoint. So in AX 2012, we had two different clients actually. One is an enterprise portal, another is a normal Windows application. So we open through AX32 application, AX32.exe. Right. So here there is no concept of AX32 or Windows-based UI that is available. So all has been given as a cloud-based UI. That is a URL. We are going to access the environment using the URL. So and the form designing structure and other stuff and everything remains the same over here. So even though it is a Windows application, even though it is a web-based application, we are going to design the form in the same way, same data source, same methods and other stuff. We are going to drag and drop, and everything is fine. The construction of the form, so like we designed in a Windows-based mode, right? So how it is being converted and showed in a URL portal. We are not building any HTML application. We are not using any ASP.NET for it. There is a misconception that like to know Dynamics 365, people should know ASP.NET and C# application or something. Never. So there is no, that's not needed. What does is Microsoft has provided this forms engine in the middle of this thing. What happens is like when the data access layer fetches it, there is a metadata. Metadata is like the model store. Here they represented as an XML elements. This XML elements pass this forms engine where it converts from the Windows-based XML file to the UI-based presentation layer. That's why this form engine is available here. And this is similar. And similar like the other things like when the data access layer passes the information to the UI, so it has to pass through the security. Still, it is there, and cache. So we'll instead of taking the information from directly from the database, still the cache is there, and there is no changes in cache as well. And workflow and batch processes are running in middle. to get it done before the UI, the data reaches the UI layer. This is all about the UI interaction that is coming into picture. And second kind of thing you can see is that OData endpoint. Okay, so as I said earlier, right, so document services are not there in the picture. So these document services has been changed to OData. So OData, OData is not a concept that is specific only to Dynamics AX. OData is a generic concept to say like it was already available. So they get the outputs in a JSON format. So even when you go and say Google, it has got a Google Maps, right? So they have distance application. So you want to find a distance between any of the states, one city of Canada to another city of Canada, so that like you getting the distance map, right? And you are just finding the shortest route and other stuff and all. So all these things has been stored in a JSON format in the Google. So there is an application to retrieve it also. We can just retrieve and check like what is the JSON based stuff. So we had a chance to work on a project on this. So we came to know about this.
Okay.
So OData URL, OData URL can be accessed by using directly given your base URL, that is USN conebox /data. So then you can just get all the data out using OData entity that's been exposed by using data entities. So we'll be seeing the data entity. We'll be seeing a practical example about this OData fetching in the data entity session later.
Okay, good.
Okay, this is about some few additional points about the server architecture. The server, like previously, the codes were stored in the database in AX 2012. So now, when you compare between 2009 has stored the files in local folder, physical folder. Then in 2012 they migrated the codes within the database. They call it as a model store, so that it's easy for them. So they use axutil commands for getting the codes out. I mean, so then now again they came back to the older procedure of 2009. They're storing the codes again in the physical folder. So now the codes are stored as XML files directly. We can just go ahead and see in the system. So how it has been done. So then in the cloud, it is deployed to Azure infrastructure as a service, which means that if you want to load it in the cloud, so it is loaded as an Azure infrastructure as a service virtual machines, which means that you will be getting only the URL out. Microsoft will take the ownership of your deployment. You will have to deploy your environment in the Azure, and they will give you only the URL for accessing it outside. So they provide some sandbox environment for there's a replica of live environment with the old data. So we can just go ahead and check like if we have any problems. And the live environment, we can't touch anything. So next thing is like for a local business data scenarios. The first step is like for the developers actually. It has been first the server is deployed in the local IaaS web application. What we are going to see in our demo is using the first approach because we haven't not putting over in the cloud. And the last thing is for on-premise version. So on-premise version is still in the picture. I couldn't see any clients that are coming into on-premise version till now. This like any banks or something like they have sensitive information, so they are military projects, so they couldn't share it on Azure. So they are requesting for getting their database into their data central, so that they can build the application. But still, I'm not sure like what is the best or successful implementation that I went on on-premise. Instead, the service AOS service is running in IaaS.
Okay, so there's no notions of AOS service like in Windows, like in
Windows, it is not there.
Okay.
Windows, it is not there. The service is now running in IaaS. If you want to restart the service, you can just, you can just restart simply IaaS. IaaS reset.
Okay. Okay.
So in IaaS, I'll just move on to sites, and here you can see AOS service.
Okay.
So this AOS service is been given a URL called USN Conebox AX1.
Right.
So when I click on it, it should open Dynamics AX.
All right.
Open. Okay, so we'll just first run through about the URL. So here we have USN Conebox onebox.dynamics.com. This is a URL actually where the site is hosted. And after this question mark, so here we have a switch called CMP equal to USSI, which means that this is a company that's get logged on to. And the second switch starts with AND. So further switches can start with AND. It keeps going on. And here MI, what do you say, underlying web root that is running at the back, web root. Okay, here where like the data is being hosted actually, the site has been hosted. And when you go to AOS service, here you can see packages local directory. Okay, so this packages local directory will list all the modules, all the models here. You'll see about application shoot, application platform, application foundation, and there are a lot more models, currency and other stuff. So and this is my user-defined model. This KP fleet management. Within that, I have few elements that are getting listed over here. I have some entities created
in,
so that
they're in XML. Oh, I see. So the source code is actually right in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, the source code in front of me. For example, I'll open the class so that you can just see the codes that are in the class.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. But that's just the code, right? It doesn't when the D365 runs, it runs on precompiled code in CIL.
Exactly. So there is no concept of CIL. All is being compiled into .NET assemblies here.
Okay.
So we came with the concept of CIL in 2012 because like that will be used by the other applications as well, other .NET applications as well. But here they call it as .NET assemblies, DLLs and other stuff.
Okay, so it's precompiled as DLLs, the final result.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
which
yes.
makes it
here
faster.
You can see this is how, yes, very faster to run it. Yeah.
Okay.
And here you can see how the class has been represented. For example, there is a class called aggregate function inquiry. So this is for demo we created. And there is a main method and C data. With we have the codes that are available, the actual codes.
Okay.
Fine. So I think Visual Studio has got opened. We were speaking about to check this default dashboard, how this is come from.
The menu item, yes.
Yes, menu item. So we'll just go to AOT. Here AOT is represented by using Application Explorer. When you say AOT is Application Explorer, here we can see all the stuffs. Same thing, but the categorization is something different. There is nothing called data dictionary here.
Yeah.
So data dictionary has been modified into data types, base enum, data types, and data model, table views, queries, and other stuff. It comes into picture. And there's nothing called menu items or menus available here. That has been modified into user interface. Within that we have menus.
And where is that?
Items and stuff.
SSRS is under reports.
Okay. So fine. Yeah, it's under reports. Yeah, right.
Okay.
These are SSRS reports.
Interesting. Okay. No, which is the same as 2012. Cool. Okay. So so we were talking about the menu items and which be under user interface.
Yeah, right. So we can just go ahead and search for it. I'll see default dashboard. And here I can just go ahead and search for the menu item, default dashboard, so that it lists down. Wherever it matches, it lists down actually. So I think this functionality is not available in 2012. So we'll have to go ahead and manually find
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
forms. Yeah. So here it's very easy.
There you go.
It was
Default
everywhere
dashboard,
where it's
and there you go. Yeah. Menu items
exactly.
display. Yep. So there we can see the
Menu item called default
properties.
dashboard.
Yeah.
Display menu item. Correct. So here we can just go ahead and see the properties. It will be grayed out other stuff. So we can just open that in open designer first. So which means that this is allowed to edit now. So here we can go ahead and see which is an object that has been corresponding to. It has been corresponding to the form default dashboard.
That's right. The form default dashboard, which is up there.
Yeah, let's open this form default dashboard.
Well, now you have a designer, whereas 2012, you still have one, but it's it doesn't function that well there.
It's very good over here. So the designer, when you could see, when you see for 2012 and you see this designer, it's much better.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So you got your
So still
design.
still they retain this default dashboard. Sorry, methods, data source. Only thing is that
Exactly.
design was there here, so they moved out to the right side, the design.
Uh-huh.
When I click on it, like it'll take some time and it'll load the preview over here. How it will look like. So maybe the same kind of preview, whatever you're going to see here, it'll just load over here. It is like what you see
Interesting.
is what you get.
That's great.
Yeah, it's loading now. This is
Yeah.
how it will look. Maybe you can just keep modifying. You can just keep clicking so that it identifies like where it is.
Okay. Yeah, the rest is similar to 2012.
Yeah. Everything is similar to 2012, and even we have parts that has been retained.
You have the parts, yes, the data parts are there. Take your data source, events, and methods. Okay, cool.
Okay, fine. So going back, there's no
Okay.
kind of utilities over there till now. So now it's been given the web.config file directly. And here we can see like my IAS is opening the URL. That URL is pointing is opening some application specific functionalities, AX codes and other stuff, right? It's opening the forms. So where the metadata directory should come from? It should come from the packages local directory. And BI reporting components has been given here. I didn't get a chance to review it actually, but I know this is there. There's a database access and database username and other stuff. This is where we provide it. So basically, they're taken into a single file.
I see. So that that's the equivalent of the AX configuration tool in 2012. But
Exactly. So here, this is the URL, host URL. This is a web.config file. Actually, you can just modify whatever you want.
Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, so
maybe like we have a DB, a different DB or whatever. You can just go ahead and this is coming from a same development box. We'll keep it as is. We haven't tried for changing this one. Fine.
Okay.
So here the package directory is mentioned there, metadata package directory, everything, wherever it is. If you have any, because even I didn't get a chance to review all the things that are there. We just go ahead and review these things only, even in the trainings, like packages local directory, DBs and other stuff.
The most common.
But there are a lot more things that's always going top of my mind.
Just keep the default. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. There are a lot more things. I just
there's a lot.
for you to go through it. Yeah. Fine. So next is like we'll review about the different options in Visual Studio. Okay. So one is like go to File, view, We saw about Application Explorer. We saw about Application Explorer. So this Application Explorer, we can have a search value directly here. And this is a common AOT view, right? The most common AOT view that we've been seeing from the long time. There's one more view that's called model view.
Model view.
When you click on model view, so it just displays the items in the model wise. For example, it will be easy for you to just identify the elements that are being created in your model directly. You can just go to your model and you can just select only the codes that are available in your model.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay.
Fine. So then I'll just switch back to the classic view. Fine. So then we have Solution Explorer window. The Solution Explorer window, like this opens up the projects actually. So in 2012, we had projects node, shared projects, and projects node, private projects. There is no concept of shared private projects here. So everything is a private project as long as you don't check in the code. So then if you check in the code, like it becomes shared in the TFS.
Right.
Okay. I'll just open the recent project file I had. Okay. So this is a solution file. Within the solution file, I created multiple projects. It's been checked into TFS. These are local TFS. Here you can see like in this solution, like we have one project with a user layer created and few more projects with the ISV created. So that that doesn't matter. So whatever the layers you can select, and you can just do it. Still the things. The thing that matters is this actually. In the brackets, like we have KB fleet management. This is a model name. Yeah, this is a model name actually. And there is one more thing called fleet management. This is again one more model name. So I mean to say that within the same solution we can have objects from multiple models.
Right, ISV fleet. So you're how come you're able to modify the ISV model? Are you is this your ISV from your company, the fleet management ISV? Because normally if you modify an ISV, the changes reflect in the user layer.
Actually, like while creating the model, you can just create in anything. Actually, you can create in this layer also. That's what I said. The layer doesn't come into picture now here.
So you can modify. You can modify the ISV layer code directly, as opposed to 2012. You cannot touch the other layers if you don't have the the access key.
That's what like so there is no concept of access keys here. So even when you want to log into a var layer, you should be having access key, right? Yeah. So there is no concept of access key for development. Only thing is that you should be having a MSDN subscription to log into Visual Studio. Once you log into Visual Studio, you can just keep developing. And they split the modifying capabilities by using these packages. That's what I was speaking about, the application platform, foundation, and shoot.
Okay.
Today. So thing is that till the application shoot, there cannot be any modification that can be made. Only the modification can be made to your own models.
Okay.
That's available. Fine. Fine. So here, like they're giving everything, so you can just select whichever you want.
Okay.
GLS, whatever you want, you can just select and you can just create your solution. But to like as we know, like the importance of layers still, so we use user layer or we use what do you say? Use
There's
var layer
precedence,
to do.
and exactly, yeah, between the layers. So the user layer is the highest on top and has precedence over the other layers, and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason. Like I still have a tendency of using user layer. I'll not be using selecting any other layers. That's become as a habit to. So we are doing it. Fine. So next is like Team Explorer window. So we have this connection dax365training.visualstudio.com. We created our own TFS.
Right. Yeah, we're using VSTS also for our version control.
So like it is the same. Whatever is there, it's the same. But the branching stuff is something different over here. Let me go to home. So this is a Dynamics 365 training is one of the project we created. Within this, we'll go to code. In the code, I have files. So in this files, like we'll have to organize the folders in this way.
Right.
Metadata, projects, and main folder.
Okay.
And we'll have to get a token from Visual Studio, that my.visualstudio.com here, and we'll have to put this token access token in LCS for getting this connected. That's one of the additional things we have to do. So as you could see, like if it rest of all the same, like work items you can create and build and releases you can create, rest of all the same. So only thing you will have to do is like you can just go ahead and maintain this structure, metadata and projects. And within metadata, like we have this fleet management. Within fleet management, we have the AX classes and other stuff, and it stores the XML files. Right. So we'll go and see like how we map it within Dynamics AX. Let's see, like just open the Source Control Explorer. These are all the basic steps actually. So we have Dynamics 365. I was speaking about this mapping of this metadata folder on the projects folder. So whenever you want to do a get latest, like you can just do it from here. From the main, you can just do a get latest version. Okay, and the configurations can be done over here in the workspace. Go to workspaces, edit. There are two mappings that should be done. One is for the metadata. So the metadata stores the code. The code should be stored in AOS packages local directory folder. So second thing is like the projects, all the Visual Studio projects you are getting created, right? That should be stored in documents Visual Studio projects. This you can map to any parts where you want to store your projects. But this should be always pointing to metadata, should be always pointing to the packages local directory.
Right.
Fine. So I'll just close this off.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same as 2012.
And
I mean, well, except for the the folder paths, but it's the similar interface, architect. Yeah.